Ladies, welcome to the party. As you may know, I am your groom, Mark. Good to see you all. Thank you for coming to support Sarah and me in our marriage. We are very excited. We are very appreciative to have each of you here. And without further ado, we're going to play a little game called What Did the Groom Say? With me, your groom, Mark.
The first question here is, what was your first impression of Sarah? I think I've told Sarah this before. To be frank, I felt like, well, first of all, she's beautiful. Let's get that out of the way. But personality wise, I almost felt as if she was too nice. And when I say too nice, it was like this feeling that like no one could be this genuinely kind, you know? And I've met very few people that are that way. And that really struck me about Sarah, that someone could be so genuinely kind, caring, and loving. And it's one of my favorite things about her. Question two: what was Sarah's first impression of Mark? Um, Probably a bit on the abrasive side, to be honest. And that's partially on purpose and partially who I am. But I would imagine that she would have said clearly extremely handsome. And I asked thought provoking questions and quite deep questions for a first date. And I think she really took note of the type of conversation that I enjoy having and that I find is necessary to have oftentimes. And I think that took her by surprise a little bit. But I also think it's one of the biggest reasons why she now loves me. So here we are. Question three: who said I love you first and when? Sarah said it first. And I think it was about after what, Sarah? 6 weeks? Right? No, not quite. I think it was maybe 8, 10 months into us seeing each other. I don't know officially what that would have been for us officially dating because there was a time discrepancy in there that Sarah would love to tell all of you about. But I think it was about 8 to 10 months after we had first started seeing each other. Could be wrong. Question four: what is the first thing Sarah would buy if she won the lottery? Well, it might be a trick question because Sarah's not really one for spending money outside of the occasional caribou coffee. She's pretty good about that. So she'd probably just save the whole lot, um, to be frank. But yeah, if she had to, what would she'd probably buy a piece of real estate and try and sell it or something to that effect. Question five: what is the first thing Mark would buy if he won the lottery? That's a good question, man. Well, yeah, buy after I invested appropriately, et cetera, et cetera. Left some aside for a sizable trading account. Um, Paid off my house and any other debt at the time, if any. I'd probably go buy myself a new boat, new fishing boat, because obviously. Question six: what is Sarah's most irrational fear? Whew. Probably prolonged periods of downtime. Sarah loves to be doing something all the time, no matter what. Work, chores, made up chores, um, pickleball occasionally, back to chores. Yeah, I don't know outside of that kind of tongue in cheek answer. I don't think she's I mean, she probably likes snakes as much as the next gal, right? She's probably not super stoked. Although Sarah can tell you guys a snake story when we met. What was her name, sir? Helen. Helen the snake. Yeah, you can tell him about that. I don't think she's overly afraid of snakes. She's probably not a fan of mice, but nothing strikes me or stands out too much outside of way too much downtime. She will go insane. Question 7. What would be Sarah's death row meal? Well, let's hope she stays off death row, first of all. Um, but secondly, I guess if we had to decide what that meal would be, it probably involves something with barbecue chicken, would be a good guess. She loves barbecued chicken. What the whole meal would look like, I guess I don't know, but it will have, most likely, barbecued chicken. Now let's hope I can also stay off death row, because the next question would be is what is my death row meal? Probably has to be steak. It's the probably the greatest single food on earth. Uh, Karen's prime rib, that would be a contender, Karen. I was pretty dang good with that horseradish. Oh my goodness. Delicious. Question 9 is what is Sarah's ideal date? Well, we'd probably have to stop for Arts Coffee in the morning, maybe spend some time out at the lake in Stillwater, maybe go downtown Stillwater, maybe go to Stillwater proper or Marma for dinner with drinks at Matchsticks. That would be a pretty good date. Although we'd have to fit in something productive somewhere that day. Otherwise, she would feel like she can't enjoy what it is we're doing that night because she didn't work for it. It's a whole thing. But so we'd probably have to be productive at some point during the day. I'd like that to be just right away in the morning, right? Just knock it out, and then we can go have fun after that. Uh, yeah, probably a day in Stillwater and then out at the lake. Maybe some fire table out at the lake. It's a personal favorite of mine. But this is Sarah's date. God, this is Sarah's date. So yeah, something probably like that. I feel like I'm going more like perfect day vibes here than perfect date, so forgive me. But then the next question, question 10, is what is Mark's ideal date? Would also probably have to involve a fire table at some point in time. Would probably have to involve a brewery or two or three with some hazy IPAs. Maybe maybe some sort of barbecue lunch or dinner, maybe a steak for dinner. That'd be awesome. We probably should go fishing at some point during the day. Yeah, see, again, this is like perfect day because like there's no way in hell that Sarah would ever let me do that for a date, right? Picnic. Sarah and I, we just got a new picnic blanket. I'm excited to use that out. So maybe perfect date would involve a picnic and then some fishing would be appropriate, right? Because we're already outside. I could probably persuade her, hey, let's go hit the water, something like that. And then, yeah, some good food, some great hazy IPAs, some good deep conversation, maybe some talk about the financial markets, and then going to bed probably no later than 9 p.m. There seems to be a dark vibe running through some of these questions because question 11 is what is Sarah's serial killer trait? First, we had death row, and now we have serial killer. I don't know who picked these questions. Actually, Grace picked the questions. So you guys got to talk to her about what's going on there. If she needs to talk to someone, I don't know. But what is Sarah's serial killer trait? I mean, man, it'd probably just be Sarah and I have talked about this recently. The pathology of kindness. She's probably too kind, right? Because she's so kind, and then she'll suck you in, and then she'll stab you in the face, right? If she was a serial killer, I could see her doing it that way. I'm not saying she's a serial killer, but she'd probably kill him with kindness. So naturally, the next question is, what is Mark's serial killer trait? And I'd be curious to hear the answers circulating that room right now, because I'm sure there are some good ones, but I mean, I don't see myself as a. Well, I can be a dark person, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't know what my serial killer. I mean, I eat meat, sometimes raw meat. Like that's weird. Probably, maybe that's it. I like meat. I don't know. I think a lot of people like meat. I don't know. I don't know. Someone tell me what the answers are. I'd be curious to find out. Question 13. Who is Sarah's biggest inspiration? She deeply admires both of her parents and the relationship and the life that they have built for each other. She makes that clear repeatedly, and it's worth repeating, because it's anyone who knows them know that that is the case, and it's uh, not only are they people that we would both like to be more like, but their relationship is something that we would like to mimic, so to speak, in our own lives, and that is something that Sarah and I have talked about a number of times, and something that we are actively aiming for. So I would say Wally and Karen are clearly her biggest inspirations. Question 14. What is your favorite memory together? Um, Man, I would say for me it was one of our I think it was our first Duluth trip, or trip up north, up to the North Shore. Stopped in Duluth. You get something to eat at one of my favorite restaurants. I think it's one of Sarah's as well. It's this barbecue place called OMC Smokehouse in Duluth. For those of you that haven't been and like barbecue, phenomenal. Probably is my favorite restaurant. And so we'll stop there, and then um, we drove up the North Shore, found this really cute coffee shop. This is all out of order, by the way. I think at some point in time we stopped at the coffee shop in Two Harbors. We went to Castle Danger Brewery that was packed. Then also, I can't even believe that I forgot to mention this. But on that same trip, we stopped at the Duluth Aquarium, which, again, for those that haven't been, fantastic aquarium. It's just such a great place, honestly, for kids, for adults, everyone. Great, great place. Would highly recommend. But we did that on that trip too, which just added to the fun and the adventure. All right, question 15. When did you know she was the one? Well, Sarah wasn't even there for the moment, which is kind of odd, ironic, however you want to spin it. And I was up north at my mom's place up in Emily on the pontoon, and one of my best friends, AJ, was up there with me. He was up there early for a long weekend we were going to do up there with some other friends, like we do once or twice a year. And I just remember, of course, having some beers, some hazy IPAs with the sunset. Sun's going down. Come on, you guys, we can envision this together. This is beautiful. The sun's going down. I'm there with my best friend. I'm drinking hazy IPAs, talking about this great lady that I had been seeing and how I've got such great deep feelings for her. And AJ's asking me these questions of where I see this going, and how dating has been in general, because I hadn't told him that I was basically fallen in love at that point. And basically through the course of his questioning, and at the end of the conversation, I remember just turning over to him, looking over to him, and saying that I'm gonna marry her, and she's the one. So and then he stood up. Question 16. When did she know he was the one? And that's a good question. You ladies will have to ask Sarah that. I don't know if she's ever explicitly told me one particular moment or memory or what have you. Um, we've had so many great memories together already, so I'm not sure what that moment for her was. So ask her now. All right, bear with me, ladies. Only two left. Question 17. What does Sarah love most about you? That's a good question. Again, would be a good opportunity to ask her. I'm sure you'll find out, but um, I don't know. It's rather presumptuous to guess these things about oneself, right? I would hope that maybe it has something to do with my willingness to do my best to seek the truth wherever I can, constantly trying to learn new things and refine, critique, implement, the best that I can, whether that's professionally or personally with, health goals or trading finance goals, whatever that looks like, my relationship. I'm always trying to find I think that I'm always trying to find ways to be better in each domain that I can manage. So I think she may say something like that. And finally, question 18. What do you love most about Sarah? Well, as you all can imagine, there are so many things, beyond the clear and evident beauty of the person that she is inside and out. I mean, I love her mind and her willingness to seek truth and to be open and to let go where is necessary, and just being a teammate, a genuine teammate that is actively trying to will the good of her teammate. And I strive to be as good at that as she is. And I'm sure I'll always come up at least a little short because she's probably one of the best at it that I've ever met. And that's largely why I'm marrying her. I think she and I will make a exceptional team and will do whatever is necessary to weather the difficult storms that inevitably lie ahead. And she's the type of person that I see has the ability and the desire to do that. And she's so open to that and she wants to do that with me. And I'm eternally flattered and grateful and don't know how I got so lucky to have her be on my side, on my team, so to speak. Um, she's such a she's such a blessing in my life, and she's brought so much joy and happiness to my life just because of the person that she is. She just exudes something that is so addictive in a way, you know. It's so positive. It glows. It's an aura, and I think a lot of you can attest to that as well. She's a ray of sunshine in a world that is seemingly always falling apart, and she's the bright light in all of that. And I'm beyond grateful to have her in my life. And I love you, Sarah. So that's it, ladies. I personally just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting Sarah and I in our marriage. I think one thing that's forgotten all too much today when it comes to relationships and marriage in general is that it's done in the context of a community, right? And so it's not just the two people at the altar, it's the rest of the community and the family and the friends that support them, and they have a duty as well. And we appreciate you for stepping up and doing your duty, so to speak. We appreciate immensely the support, and we love you all very much. And we thank you for your time now and in the future with regards to our wedding and our celebration together. And just again, thank you so much.